talk about she need a Birkin bag. This shit only flies in our culture, to where you can have women who are sixes, adjustable sixes at best, thinking and talking and acting as if they are entitled to mad craziness.
You're judging Saweetie for selling her coochie, but in this economy, the way times be for us right now, I don't blame the goddamn.
It would be highly disingenuous to me to sit here and pretend like I am surprised that Saweetie is out here selling box. Now, am I surprised if she's global with it? Okay, a bit of surprise there, but at the end of the day, I'm really not that surprised. And I think if we're all going to be honest about what's been the conversation coming from modern women, feminists, the ones that know their worth, is that they're willing to sell what's between their legs for a meal, some spaghetti, a trip to Miami. They're going to sell that box in some form or fashion. We're not talking about healthy relationships here. It is obvious the majority of these chicks online bragging about what they're not going to do for a man are in financial distress. The economy's down, and they don't actually see a problem with what Saweetie's doing. If anything, she's probably inspired women and encouraged women with zero morals.
Because the reality of it is, Saweetie ain't dropped a song in God knows how long. How the hell you think she funded her lifestyle? Like, be for real. How do y'all think she's paying for all of this? What was the last Saweetie song you done listened to? Exactly.
That's a good point.
So she's got to pay for her lifestyle one way or another, and I see as if it's getting paid for. Them bitches on baddies probably be out there selling coochie too, but y'all still watch them every Sundays.
No, we don't. What?
So what's the problem?
Oh, wrong audience.
Honestly, good for her. For real, because at least she's getting something out of this. Y'all give it away for free. She's getting paid for this shit. That is employed.
This is where we're at now, ladies and gentlemen. Good for her. Get something from what's between your legs, because you've given it out for free anyways. Might as well make some money.
And y'all acting like all them influencers and models and reality TV stars don't be all overseas doing the same shits when they be on them. Yes, this ain't no new shit. Somebody just aired her business out. That's all. That's why we know about it.
Yeah, there's some truth there for sure. I mean, I'm not surprised. If you listen to any one of these chick songs, they tell you exactly what they're about. Saweetie probably has numerous bars that clearly state that she will exchange what's between her legs for some money. In fact, if I'm not mistaken, I actually remember Kevin Samuels, who talked about her saying exactly that.
Tap, 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 tap in. Especially when that chick was doing their hair. I would play it, except I get a copyright. I mean, she's cute. Heavily made up, you know, those long eyelashes, lots of makeup, but she's cute.
He's talking about Saweetie here in this video.
But I'm going to just say it, in no stretch of the imagination, could I imagine a woman along the lines of her looks being with the richest successful man outside the black community talk about she need a Birkin bag? This shit only flies in our culture, to where you can have women who are sixes, adjustable sixes at best, thinking and talking and acting as if they are entitled to mad craziness.
Now, I'm going to take an educated guess here. I don't think that Saweetie would be bragging about spending money on a Birkin bag with her own money. I'm just going to take a wild guess here and assume that she's talking about getting a Birkin bag from a man who she's sleeping with. I mean, this was like almost 5 years ago.
So how many of these do you own?
She's like, how many bodies?
Drink the coffee, it'll make you feel better.
The Coffee Pot is backed by FathersHaveRights.com, the ultimate prenup prep guide for men who value marriage in our modern day. Future husbands, the divorce industry makes billions when men walk into a lawyer's office unprepared. Don't let the system profit from your ignorance. My step-by-step guide at FathersHaveRights.com, created with expert attorneys James Sexton and the lead attorney, hands you the questions, checklists, and strategy to walk in 10 steps ahead, and it costs only a couple of dinner dates. Click the link pinned to the top of the comment section, secure your future, and join the hundreds of men preparing their marriages the right way.
This is crazy. My God. More than 10?
You know, I'm not sure.
So if my question to you is like, do you buy these for yourself or are these like gifts?
Both of them.
Nice. What did she say? It sounds like they were both gifts. All I know is that these clips definitely aren't aging well at all. I do want to ask Miss Coffee, because guys, like, we have to start being real about some of these female rappers and musicians. A lot of these chicks are sex workers. A lot of these chicks that you see who aren't celebrities online are pretty much sex workers. And not that you need this, but just for some extra proof from Miss Coffee. Miss Coffee, can you give us some lyrics? We're looking for some Saweetie lyrics that obviously are plainly stating that she does not mind selling what's between her legs in exchange for compensation of any sort.
I can't post or quote her explicit lyrics word for word, but here's the general picture you can reference safely in your commentary.
Ooh, I knew she might not be able to give us the real, because my AI assistant barista is innocent. Yes, she's not a modern woman.
In a lot of Saweetie's music, like My Type, Tap In, ICGRL, and High Maintenance, she raps from a boss chick luxury point of view. The recurring idea is, if you want access to me, you'd better bring resources, gifts, or status.
Right.
She ties romance to lifestyle. Shopping sprees, designer bags, Birkin talk, first-class trips, as shorthand for how she expects to be treated. The tone is meant to sound confident and aspirational rather than literal. She flips old gold digger stereotypes into a message of female leverage and self-worth through material standards.
All right, there we go. Just what we thought. You know, we didn't have to go on some deep dive to know this. And before people go into the whole everybody pays, there's a difference. There's a difference between relationships that are primarily transactional relationships and those where a woman is actually getting validation from you as a person, so on and so forth, right? That's like a old failed argument of everybody pays. And the difference in that is there is the type of man that a woman opens herself up to because of who that man is, because she actually gets validation, feels good being with that man, versus the type of man who she's getting with because she's trying to get something out of that man.
The female rap artist Saweetie has recently been accused of being a yachter, doing paid and arranged relationships, losing clients because she's abusing substances, doing voodoo. I see a lot of people, one, asking what yachting is, and two, wanting this whole situation broken down, so I'm going to break it down for you. Now, Saweetie's accused of being a yachter. A yachter is somebody that gets on boats and they abuse maritime law. There's a thin line of do's and don'ts in the ocean, and sometimes they use that thin line to buy and sell cat. Now, some people go to Dubai and they get shit on. Some people go to the Philippines and drink piss. Although Saweetie's just being accused and we don't know for sure she's a yachter, one thing we can agree on is there's a lot of pictures of Saweetie on the yacht. It's almost like she lives her life on boats. A lot of people also found this picture of Saweetie with this casket-ready makeup on and this very, very aged white man at this table.
Aged white man.
Ready makeup.
That's Robert Greene. That's crazy. They're going to throw Robert Greene under the bus. A lot of people really like Robert Greene. He's the author who wrote the 48 Laws of Power. This isn't too surprising. You know, you see him with a lot of celebrities. He was with 50 Cent. I know he worked with like a clothing brand dude in the past. You know, he's attached himself to celebrities because of that book. It's powerful. Right.
On in this very, very aged white man at this table. Now, he's a best-selling author. She's sitting there flexing with his book. Saweetie's a tap, 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 and he's a scribble right. If she bad, bought up. Saweetie does live a very luxurious lifestyle, and I just can't believe that she's living this lifestyle from her music. Now, Maybach May, who's put these allegations on Saweetie, is accused of being a madame. A madame is a higher-tier yacht or a higher-tier escort, and they usually are in charge of divvying out the girls. A good example of an alleged madame is Natalie Nunn or Jocelyn Hernandez or any of the bitches that got a show on Zeus Network. They have countless allegations of going to Dubai for these lash parties, but you never see any lashes sold.
Just like a female pimp or manager.
And they always come back talking about how they got the bag. Now, one of the things that seems Maybach May is accusing Saweetie of is not fulfilling the full agreement. What's the agreement, you may ask? I think Saweetie was supposed to meet up with the soccer player. I think they were supposed to do and call it a day. Now, Miss Madame is alleging that Saweetie told the soccer player not to pay the madame and just to pay her. Now, here's a video of Saweetie originally meeting the guy at the soccer game, and I think it is a little weird that she doesn't even look like she knows who he is. She doesn't even realize that he's coming over to see her until he gets there, and then she hugs him, and it's a little awkward. Now, she said this is a paid appearance, so what I think was supposed to happen is I think Saweetie was supposed to get paid to go visit this guy. Visit, if you know what I mean. I think when this man visited Saweetie, he fell in love, and
Pause.
she realized that, so she told this man, just pay me. You don't got to pay her. Now, since Saweetie got the whole pay cut, maybe they have to act like they're in a relationship so it doesn't look weird, a big transfer of money. Because what famous sports player is not going to give his girl hella money anyways? And they were going to ice the madame out the deal. Now, a lot of people think this is far-fetched, but I found a couple of videos of Saweetie doing some side missions. I mean, she's at the club overseas, she's throwing money, she's shaking that ass.
Not surprising at all.
Comment and let me know what you guys think. Do you guys want me to cover some more yachting stories? And do you guys think that Saweetie's a yachter? I think it's weird that she seemingly lives her whole life on the ocean like she's a mermaid, and I also think it's weird that she's caught in these risque photos.
Been on other yachts of highly wealthy people.
Is it preposterous? I've never been.
I don't judge it, but I
do. I'll judge for you.
I was on a yacht.
Describe it to me. I'll tell you why it's stupid.
I was on Charles Simone's yacht. He's one of the Microsoft billionaires. And there's a staff there, and I like talking to people. And I said, there are people cleaning, and I said, so where do you live? He said, here. I said, in New York? There's an important there. No, here. On the yacht. And I said, well, when you're not on the yacht, weird. Oh, I'm from Italy, but I live on the yacht. I said, how do you get your mail? He said, well, I'll get back to Italy. I'll pick it up there, but I live on. And so the idea that you are so wealthy, you can buy people and put them in this floating place, and they call that their home. I had to wrap my head around that.
That's wild. Yeah, that's pretty crazy.
Every time I would pay my rent, my account would go back down to $20 or $40.
Whew.
And I was like, bitch, it's real. It's real. And not because my aesthetic was.
By the way, guys, this is Saweetie before, she got very, very popular. She was ascending.
Always just I've always wanted to be a rich. Mm-hmm. Ever since I was a kid, that's what I aspired to be. Yeah. I like the diamonds, the furs. I love the boss out there. So shout out to them. Mm-hmm. And I was like, this is not what we planned, friend. Yeah. So I looked myself in the mirror. That's why in Icy Girl, I say, look it in the mirror. I think I for what I'm about to be. I was broke as when I wrote that. And I was like, we have to give yourself a deadline. And I always tell people who I give advice to, give yourself a deadline, because if you do that, you're able to keep track of what you're doing. So I gave myself a year to make it in LA. And if I didn't make it, I was going to go home and at least be comfortable and stack my money up and move back to LA. On my 9th month, I got discovered.
When did that big check come?
I was an influencer for weave companies and clothing companies. Wow. Mm. So because Icy Girl was new and hot, it had put the attention, that helped me get my first low key, low hanging fruit, brand deals.
I remember Icy Girl. I actually remember the first time Icy Girl came out and people were just learning about Saweetie. She had a different vibe back then. I definitely did not see this coming. She looked like she was more of a classy woman, but who she's turned into now sounds like is a woman who's hooked on drugs, who's allegedly, right, selling her body to any man that's willing to pay for it. And when I think of the saying, the love of money is the root of all evil, this is what I think about. I know that doesn't mean that money itself is evil, but when you love money more than you love anything else, then you won't have a set of values or things that you're not willing to do or lines that you're not willing to cross to get paid. That's when you lose yourself. That's when you see people doing things that you would borderline label may be detrimental to their own health, to their own well-being, their own image and legacy. You heard her from a young age. She always wanted to be rich. Nothing wrong with wanting to be wealthy. However, if your goal is just to be rich and nothing else, you don't have other values that go above that, lines that you're not willing to cross, then you might even shock yourself when it comes to what you're willing to do to get there.
Okay. That was the first time I had a couple thousand in my bank account. I just had to post my picture and they would pay me.
Oh, okay.
So that $20 turned into a couple $1,000.
Are you getting some shows or anything like that? Because the song was doing really good.
My first show was in Istanbul, Turkey.
Turkey?
Yes.
All the way over there?
All the way over there. And
Did you have a passport?
Yes.
Okay.
And I sat in the middle seat.
The whole flight?
It's real. I'm not doing this again.
Listen, I got to know how much they paid you.
As always, we're going to check out some of these comments, see what the people have to say. Top comment here says, was that Robert Greene? Yes, it was. Another person here added, do I believe it? Yes. Do I care? No. Is it interesting? Yes. You should care to an extent when you see that this is something that's just so accepted in our society.
The sooner y'all realize that everybody is selling out here, the happier everyone will be and the closer to reality everyone will live. I know people talking about this Saweetie stuff, allegedly. I'm not saying she did or didn't do nothing. I'm just saying everybody acting surprised, but nobody should be surprised because everybody's selling. I don't think y'all quite understand how much people be selling outside. Like, I remember when I was in high school, shorties was selling cheeks. We was teenagers selling. You don't think they selling college? You don't think all these girls that you see on trips everywhere, but they don't have no job? Because one thing about a woman, that if she's proud of her job, she's posting about it. How many nurses do you know that's never posted about being a nurse? How many doctor women do you know who are doctors, never post about being a doctor? How many car salesmen, real estate women, dental assistants, dentists, any of that? How many of them do you know that are proud of their job and they don't post about it? Now, if a woman is everywhere around the world and she never mentions her job, she's selling.
Somebody else who says, I'm happy for her. That's crazy. Another person who says, rich, 8 figures, that's my type. Somebody else here added, what's the problem? She grown. Right.
Oh my God, Sweetie's an escort. And water is wet. What? The sky is blue. Grass is green. What the are we talking about right now? What are we talking about? I've literally been told y'all that all the female rappers are escorts. Like, I said this so many times. Go look at the video. This is not new information. Do y'all really need everything to be a blog post on TMZ or the Shade Room for y'all to believe something? Like, why is it more believable when it comes out of them people's mouth than all of us? If you ask me, I think most female rappers are escorts. If you really think about it, that's what makes the most sense. Why would you sign an artist that is going to cost you tens of millions of dollars to keep afloat, right? If they don't write their own music, it means that you're going to have to be constantly pumping out money to support their career. Why would you do that unless you had another plan for them to make money? There is a reason why it's always a biracial mixed girl with a certain look. No tea, no shade. They keep signing the same type of woman. It's always a Saweetie. It's always a Ice Spice. It's always a Lotto. Hell, now they done got Glorilla, Saweetie. I think they all selling it. No cap, no shade. I knew Sexy Red was selling it, and I seen her laid out on that Chinese table, all the white men in the video. But I mean, Sexy Red gives selling it anyways. I think they all selling it. It's not one that I don't think that's selling it unless they like more underground, like Mona Leo. I don't think Mona Leo selling it. I know she not, for a fact, actually. But all the other ones, definitely escorts. I don't. When Saweetie first came out with Icy Girl, her first project was called High Maintenance. In one of those songs, she said, I was with Michael B. Jordan and Keith Powers. How do you think she got with Michael B. Jordan and Keith Powers? That's right, selling it. I've been telling y'all they're all selling it. This should not be new information to y'all. But of course it is, because y'all love to feign shock. Also, y'all really don't give a because if you could sell it too, y'all probably would. Y'all all, in my opinion. Y'all love, that's why y'all support them so much. Y'all like selling coochie. I think y'all respect it more. As long as it come with a Birkin bag and a nice 613 blonde wig and some bundles. As long as you living a nice lifestyle, y'all don't. The only that y'all don't respect selling it is the women on the street that you view low class and poverty level. As long as a bitch selling it for millions, y'all don't. So why is this even a conversation?
Somebody else here added, keep in mind she's a full-grown woman. I want to really show you guys, when you look at a certain culture or society or mindset of people, and you wonder why degeneracy has taken over, really over the nation overall, and you ask why are their children in such bad situations? Why are they on multiple antidepressants, medication? Why is there a lack of meaning in life? Remember that they look at this and they're like, this is okay. We see no problem with this. These are the people we look up to. And in fact, this is inspiring. Somebody else who says, honestly, someone point me into the direction of yachting agency. Whoa. So here we have somebody who's actually motivated and interested in pursuing this.
Hell yeah, I knew Saweetie was an escort. My baby from Cali, she won't get that bread. Like, the music is a front. I would never forget when Master P said people don't make money off the music. They make the music off the game. Saweetie, you need to pay that girl back. You gotta pay that madam back before she just exposes you and finally tells us the truth that you were sleeping with Offset and other of your homegirls' husbands and boyfriends. Like, Sweetie, you so beautiful. I just wish you was smart. Like, girl, you got a whole business degree. Like,
Somebody else who says work ain't honest, but it pays the bills. Another person who says they always out the women and never the men. Somebody added to this conversation says HIV is permanent. Right. There's the comment that's needed right there. Here's somebody else who says she's doing exactly what she said she is. Here's somebody else who says she's definitely a yachter. Of course, guys, I'm curious to know, what do you think? Hey, guys, as always, I appreciate you for checking out yet another episode of The Coffee Pod. To my currently engaged or soon-to-be married men, if you need a prenup and would like a guide that shows you how to get a solid and legally binding prenuptial agreement, hit the link into the top of the comment section and access your guide at fathershaverights.com today.